Central Series. Right now, right behind me is the Kids 170, the youth, the future of our sport. They've got about, I'm going to say 5 more minutes of practice. We'll regroup and we will go qualifying. So it should be a lot of fun out there. We got my camera on in the Big B studio. We have one up on the hill watching most of the track, and then Benji set one up on the top left. We will have the drone flying for qualifying and the race. So we should have some pretty good coverage. It's all right here in the arena. You can see the entire thing from the Attica Power Sports store just below it. It's a really cool spot to view from. Again, we're just getting started, getting ready to kick off the Youth 170s. It's going to be a lot of fun. We do have 3 classes out there racing today. We have the limited, the stock, and the modified. So I'll kind of run through who's out there. It's Caden Dowker, number 2, out of Elk Rapids, Michigan, with North Shore Raceworks. Then we have Hayden Gibson, number 44, out of Villa Ridge, Missouri, with TTP Racing. We have Mills Gibson, number 48, out of Villa Ridge, Missouri, with TTP Racing as well. And then we have Hunter Biddle, who did his Youth 1K last night, and now he's in the Youth 170s. Number 107, out of Longmont, Colorado, with Hunter Racing. We have Addison Gilbert. Her dad will be racing this evening in the 4,400 class. Number 307 out of Fenton, Michigan, out of with Gilbert Motorsports. And then we have a new racer, Tinley Murray. You'll recognize that last name. That's Rick Murray's daughter. Chad Hunt just purchased that car. His granddaughter, I believe, but she's not quite ready to race, so he gave it to his co-dog's daughter, and she's out there making her Ultra 4 Rookie USA debut. And that's Tinley Murray, number 722, out of Plymouth, Indiana, with Hunt Motorsports. And then Eli Robbins, again, you'll recognize a lot of these names. A lot of them are out there racing with us. Dustin Robbins' son, number 831, out of Decatur, Alabama, with Full Throttle Power Sports. And we saw, I started out with Kaylin Dowker. That's Tad Dowker's daughter. He'll be racing the 4,400 class tonight. Hayden and Mills Gibson, that is Phil Stratman's niece and nephew. So again, the future of our sport here with Ultra 4 USA is very, very bright. We're going to just wrap up practice here in a couple more minutes, and then we will qualify them 1, possibly 2 at a time, and that'll get everything set up for this morning's race. And then tonight at 5:30, we will be racing the Pro Modified UTVs. And then after that, hopefully around that 7:30 mark or so, we'll kick off the 4,800 and the 4,400s. So, again, qualifying will be 1 at a time, and then we'll race all 7 on the course at one time. Make sure you go to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com for the same timing I have here in the Big B studio. It'll be a 15-minute race. So as many laps as these young guys and gals can put in under their belts. Again, seat time. We set this course up probably 4 days ago, and it was dry. It was beautiful. With the rain come in, we were going to see what happened. We went out and assessed it this morning, and it needed some love, so we had to redirect. We had to take out one full section because each little whoop section was covered in mud. So we redirected. We dug some trenches, got some of the mud out of the way. We blasted every UTV and vehicle we had around the course with the core staff. Got most of the mud blown out of the way, but it's obviously it's still going to be muddy for these young guys and gals, but they're out there running. We are not running racing tracks. Obviously, this is a short course for these young guys and gals, but make sure you go to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com, and then I'm going to be watching the Ultra 4 USA YouTube chat, and we should be going live here in just a few minutes. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in to the 2025 Branik Motorsports Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana. This park is absolutely amazing, and obviously you can see the youth little track behind us. This park is open 7 days a week. I should know this, but it changes day to day, but roughly they're open 8 to 7 most days. We are closing the park at 4 o'clock today to get the course set up for our racing tonight. It's only $25 a day, so if you're in the area, there's still plenty of time. The premier classes are racing tonight. Population of Attica, Indiana is roughly 3,000 people. The elevation is 545 here. And it's just a really cool little small town, good old boy vibe. I've been hanging out with Larry. Larry and Kyle, sorry. Kyle's the owner. Larry's the right-hand man, and they've been showing us around town. And, man, it's just, like I said, it's got the small town vibe. It's absolutely amazing here. You can come out here, rent a cabin, rent a house. They've got, what they say, 200 campsites with power and water, 700 dry camp spots, and then they have 32 houses and cabins between the two. And then you can rent a UTV. You can buy a UTV, bring out a dirt bike, a four-wheeler, and everything in between. This is a very family-friendly park. There is no alcohol out on the course or out on in the park. So keep that in mind in the future. And they run a very tight ship. They keep checking my wristbands every time I come through, and I've been here a week, but I'm not complaining. They're doing their job to keep everybody safe and sound out on course. So waiting for qualifying to get underway. Yesterday, we started off with the open stock and Youth 1K. Again, unofficial. We are doing awards at 1 p.m. here in front of the Badlands billboard by the Power Sports store. So spread the word there. It's been on our website for about a month. We've shot it out on social, but I'm still getting some questions. So 1 p.m. awards here at the billboard, the Badlands billboard. So last night, unofficial one was Paul Wolf in the open class. Then it was Nick Anderson, then Cody Willenborg. In the stock class, it was Jeremy Blackburn, Reed Murnahan, and Nate Richardson. In the 1K class, it was Jet Chambers, Peyton Dunford, and Hunter Biddle. And then the 4,500 class, it was Cody St. Clair, Bob Humanchik, and Austin Pyatt. In the 4,600 class, it was John Hall, John Lachey, and then Corey Day. I forgot to write that down. And then tonight, again, 5:30 will be the Pro Modified UTVs, and then we'll roll right in to the 4,400 mixed with the 4,800 Branik Motorsports Legends class. And speaking about Branik, they are the presenting sponsor of this entire weekend. Stan and Brandon and Nicole are all here on site. Caden Berger, Stan's grandson, will be racing in the 4,800 class tonight, so they are here in full effect. If you see a Branik hat, it's part of their crew. Go chat with them. There's some great people. Looks like the Ultra4Racing.livemotorsports.com is reset, so we should be qualifying here very, very soon. I am Miles Hasselquist, and this is the Youth 170 getting ready to kick off for qualifying. Should be a fun little morning. Then, like I said, at 1 p.m. we'll do awards. I assume we'll finish this race, I'm going to guess, around 11:30 or so. So we will take a lunch break. Probably won't be live for awards, but we'll do a little highlight reel for that later on tonight, and then or later on this week. And then we will be live tonight at 5:30 Eastern Time for the 4,900 Pro Modified, and then the 4,400 and the 4,800 Branik Motorsports Legends class. Oh, and I just got a little update. We are doing a 2-lap qualifier for these young guys and gals. It is a very short little track, but it keeps them contained, keeps everybody safe and sound, because obviously we don't want these the future of our sport to get out of sight too much, so we kept them all right here in the arena. And just, again, a huge shout-out to Kyle Noss, Larry Turnquist, the entire Badlands staff. They've been amazing to work with out here. Absolutely love this park. Need to give a shout-out to all of our volunteers, the Ultra 4 USA staff, media, safety, USAC, racers, fans, and all of our marketing partners. We've got James with the Believe Cam drone waiting for qualifying to start. So before we get this ball rolling, let's give a huge shout-out to Monster Energy, Warren Racing, Branik Motorsports, All Things UTV, NorCal Rock Racing, Rock Crawler Suspension, Freight Factory, Spider Tracks, Factor 55, PCI Race Radios, G4 Suspension Technology, Metal Cloak, Maxxis, and King. Looks like we have a few people watching back at home. Where are you tuning in from? We thoroughly appreciate each and every one of you. Obviously, everybody started racing at some point, and I can't think of a better place to start than with Ultra 4 USA and the Youth 170s. And we are taking off. The drone is in the air. Kind of trying to keep a little bit quiet so I can hear my PCI race radio to get a little update from Race Off. Looks like a few of the dads and moms and dads are down there checking out that first car. Looks like that's Tinley Murray, I do believe. And just visually, I think it's Eli Robbins, Addison Gilbert, Kalen Dowker, Hayden Mills Gibson, and then Hunter Biddle. This is probably just shy of a quarter-mile course we set up for them. And look at the drone shot. Look how much water is out there. So we really had to play with it to try to keep them out of it as much as we could. They're going to get muddy, but hey, you got to start somewhere. We've got the Big B Studio camera. One camera up above looking down, one on the course looking up, and then the Believe Cam FPV drone with James at the helm. And the crowd's pretty showing up pretty good here for the Youth 170s. Trying to do a little tech here. Looks like the drone dropped a little bit of feed. We'll get that back up here shortly. Yeah, Starlink is absolutely amazing, but it's still a little goofy from time to time. But just think of where we came from to where we are now. We used to have to ping internet, point to point all the way over this park. And now each individual Starlink can run at least one camera, probably two. Again, we are just patiently awaiting, getting all our ducks in a row, and we should be qualifying. They get 2 laps to qualify on, and that'll get everybody set up for their 15-minute race. They will, it is a physical finish race. This is short course. During our drivers meeting this morning, Eli Robbins piped up and said he wants a lot more, all the seat time he can get. So Trotter laughed and agreed, and they got a pretty good little practice. They'll get a 2-lap qualifier and then a 15-minute race. Looks like the spotters are getting back to their position. We've got the Ultra 4 USA staff in position. Saw the ambulances here on site. We are good to go here very shortly. Sounds like we will have 2 cars on the course at the same time for qualifying. Obviously, there's an odd number, so there'll be somebody out there running around by themselves, but it'll be 2 cars at a time qualifying, 2 laps to get everything set up for their 15-minute race right here in the arena on this just shy of a quarter mile. We got the timing in the top left, same as we have here in the Big B studio, ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com. Well, somebody just took off, but so Tinley Murray took off, but took a wrong turn. Didn't quite follow the course during sight lap and practice, I guess. But we'll get a restacked and get back in action. So Timey will reset that transponder. Just listen to the PCI race radio, getting them herded back up. All right, so Tinley Murray took a wrong turn, so she'll go to the rear of the pack and get a retry at her qualifier. So it looks like we should be taking off right now. I believe that's Eli Robbins, and it is number 831, Eli Robbins out of Decatur, Alabama, with Full Throttle Power Sports, part of the stock class, and his Polaris, all things UTV, Apex powder coating, Vision wheels, Super ATV, and MRT. His first Ultra 4 race was Kentucky last year, and he got first place this year in Bowling Green. So we'll be sending another car out here very shortly, and there they go. That's Addison Gilbert, number 307, part of the stock class out of Fenton, Michigan, with Gilbert Brothers Motorsports. And Polaris 2 Hundo, want to thank Big B and Mom and Dad with Alliance Tree Services. So we will have 2 cars out on course at the same time during qualifying. They're doing 2 full laps. So I think we had a little mishap. Waved the checkered flag a little too early. I'll keep you honest. Yeah, so I think Pam got a little excited, waved that checker flag one time too soon. So it looks like Addison Gilbert with a 49-second lap. And Eli Robbins with a 51. Let's see who's still running. So I see Addison Gilbert. You can see her. She's going to come to a stop. I'm not sure what's going on.
She's had electrical issues that keep shutting off.
Electrical issues. So she had to recycle the key and keep going. So we'll have to get Casey on that one later to see what's going on with it. So this should be the checkered flag for Addison Gilbert. We'll get a time for her. So it is a 2:01 fastest time for 2 laps. Obviously, I think that'll speed up by about 20 seconds. She definitely had some kind of electrical issues, but at least she made it to the finish line, and hopefully they can get it checked out real quick before that race starts. Here in probably about 15 minutes. We'll see how long qualifying does take. So we'll see what we're going to do with Eli Robbins, but I assume he'll get a rerun since we threw that checkered a little too soon. It looks like that was one of the Gibson. And it is. That is Hayden Gibson, number 44, out of Villa Ridge, Missouri, with TTP Racing. Part of the limited class with Polaris, Z-Max, Sun F, DWT, and King. And next off the line, racing last night and this morning, is Hunter Biddle, number 107, out of Longmont, Colorado, with Hunter Racing. He's in a Polaris single-seat 170 with Elite Power Sports of Colorado and Horn Racing. His first Ultra 4 USA race was the 918 at MAO back in 22. He's won at Sturgis, got third at Legends in 22. So he's got a few trophies under his belt. So we have Hayden Gibson and Hunter Biddle out on course. So the future of our sport is out there running strong. So Hayden Gibson with a time of 1:35, fastest of the day thus far. And then just like that, Hunter Biddle with a 1:33, 2 seconds faster than Hayden Gibson. So Hunter Biddle just threw down the fastest of the day. We'll see. I think that time's going to be a little tough to beat. Addison Gilbert with that 2:01, but she was having some kind of electrical issues. So we'll what happened, buddy? I'm going to try to get Aiden over here and give us a quick update on his sister, because I heard something about electrical issues. So you want to hop on headset for just a minute, or just give me a quick update? Sounds like her coils were getting wet, so they're going to go get some plastic bags, tape them up, and get her ready for the race. So he didn't have time to chat, but thanks for the update, Aiden. So Hunter Biddle with a 1:33, Hayden Gibson with a 1:35, Addison Gilbert with a 2:01, and then Kaylin Dowker is out there on course number 2 out of Elk Rapids, Michigan with North Shore Raceworks. And that Polaris thanks to mom and dad. And then also it's the 48 of Mills Gibson out of Villa Ridge, Missouri with TTP Racing. And his Polaris with Z-Max, Sun F, DWT, and King. And we still have Tinley Murray, and I assume we'll re-rack Eli Robbins since he got cut 1 lap short. So the checkered flag flies for Kaylin Dowker. So Kaylin Dowker with a 1:50. We'll see what Mills Gibson can do. Let's see who's got the fastest time. Looks like 45.6 by Mills Gibson, which does give him, well, that time doesn't make sense on the timer. There we go. So Hunter Biddle with a 1:33, Hayden Gibson with a 1:35, Mills Gibson with a 1:39, and then Kaylin Dowker with a 1:50, and Addison Gilbert with a 2:01. So it should be Tinley Murray out on course, making her Ultra 4 USA debut. Number 722 out of Plymouth, Indiana with Hunt's Motorsports. And that Polaris 170, Branik Motorsports, Hunt's Motorsports, Dirty Life Wheels, and Mickey Thompson Tires. They just purchased that car from Jody Ford just, I think, a week or so ago. So great to see them out there having some fun. So Tinley Murray just stole this top spot on her very first race. 1:32 for Tinley Murray. Again, go to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com for the same timing I have right here in the Big B studio. So Eli Robbins is doing his rerun. So number 831 of Eli Robbins out of Decatur, Alabama with Full Throttle Power Sports. and is Polaris with all things UTV, Apex powder coating, Vision Wheels, Super ATV, and MRT. So hopefully Addison Gilbert can get that car dried out a little bit, and we'll get this thing re-racked. Eli Robbins just reset on my computer. We'll wait for it to update. All right, so Eli Robbins out there on his 2-lap qualifier. He had to reset, Pam threw the checkered flag a lap too early, but everything happens. It's all good. So Eli Robbins' first lap was a 49.7. So I'll go through. Man, so Tinley Murray, Mills Gibson, and Hunter Biddle all had a lap of 45.5 or 45.6. They're all within 0.2 of a second of each other. And then 1 second off was Hayden Gibson. And then everybody else was right around that 50 mark. Addison Gilbert, Eli Robbins, and Kalen Dowker. So we actually should have a pretty good race for 15 minutes. So they're averaging, let's call it 45, 50 seconds. So this is going to be a, 17, 18, 19 lap race probably. So at 15 minutes, the white flag will come out, and they'll have one more lap to go. Should be a lot of fun for the Youth 170s, the future of our sport, all part of the 2025 Branik Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana. So Eli Robbins ended up second in class, 5th overall. So I'll run through just overall. They are going to be intermixed out on course, scored separately, but it is Tinley Murray in that pole position. Then it's Mills Gibson, Hunter Biddle, Hayden Gibson, Eli Robbins, Addison Gilbert, and then Kalen Dowker. And again, you'll recognize a lot of those last names. They're all family members to most of our racers or co-drivers, so it's great to see them bringing their family out here to enjoy some Ultra 4 USA racing. So timing and race ops are getting everything sorted, and we'll be stacked up. I assume they'll take off 2 at a time. I don't know. They'll probably do 1 at a time. I don't know. We're about to find out. You'll find out when I found out. How about that? Let me click over to the YouTube. Don't see much chatting there, but we got a pretty good little crowd. Again, well, let me know where you're tuned in from. And then also, don't forget, you can go back and rewatch the Ultra 4 USA YouTubes from all weekend and prior races, so they can go home and show their friends. Next school year, they can show their new teacher what they did in the summer. What'd you do this summer? Oh, I went Ultra 4 USA racing. That sounds pretty cool to me. So this will probably take a little bit to get everybody reset. So I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more racing action.
Over 25 years of off-road racing dominance. Proprietary patented race technology. Proudly made in the USA. Unparalleled customer service and support. The choice of champions. King Shocks, the leader in off-road shock technology.
We don't take these lightly. They're not practiced or anything like that. We're here to try to win. And
we're getting bigger car counts. It's a new track. It's a cool venue, and it's a different change of scenery.
That's what Ultra 4 is. But then when the green flag drops, it's all out battle. Mad Max and Thunderdome.
It's going to be tough. The competition is the best of the best. For me, it's just a place to go release some anger and have some fun with my kids, and it's like fist fighting in a goddamn race car.
Before racing to me is a way to get out with friends. It's where we spend time together. It's where you get your blood pumping.
I'm excited. I have a lot of confidence on where Ultra 4 is going to be.
Ultra 4 is awesome. It's so much fun because you're just wheel to wheel with the guy next to you, and especially in short course. And what an opportunity to be able to race side by side with like pro level drivers, drivers that have won K8 previously, OG drivers that have been in this for 10 plus years.
PCI Race Radio is the leader in off-road communications since 1972. Our equipment was developed for racing in Baja, perfected for enjoying the weekend with family and friends. PCI has the highest quality communications, navigation, and safety equipment, backed by the best support in the industry. Find us at hundreds of events each year, supporting our equipment on site and providing the PCI Weatherman Relay. See you in the desert.
Tested and proven in some of the world's most rugged environments, the all-new Warn Xeon XD and XP line of vehicle recovery winches have arrived, redesigned from the ground up. Warn Xeon XD and XP represent the ultimate in performance and durability on the market today. You'll have the confidence to go farther, and most of all, go prepared.
Over 25 years of off-road racing dominance. Proprietary patented race technology. Proudly made in the USA. Unparalleled customer service and support. The choice of champions. King Shocks. The leader in off-road shock technology.
We don't take these lightly. They're not practiced or anything like that. We're here to try to win. And
you know, we're getting bigger car counts. It's a new track. It's a cool venue, and it's a different change of scenery.
That's what Ultra 4 is. But then when the green flag drops, it's all out battle. Mad Max and Thunderdome.
It's going to be tough. The competition is the best of the best.
For me, it's just a place to go release some anger and have some fun with my kids, and it's like fist fighting in a goddamn race car.
Before racing to me is a way to get out with friends. It's where we spend time together. It's where you get your blood pumping.
I'm excited. I have a lot of confidence on where Ultra 4 is going to be.
Ultra 4 is awesome. It's so much fun because you're just wheel to wheel with the guy next to you, and especially in short course. And what an opportunity to be able to race side by side with like pro level drivers, drivers that have won K8 previously, OG drivers that have been in this for 10 plus years.
Welcome back to the 2025 Branik Motorsports Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park just outside of Attica, Indiana. We had practice. We just finished up qualifying. We are about to go live racing for the Youth 170s. We do have 3 classes racing all at the same time. There are 7 cars. We have 3 in stock, 3 in limited, and 1 in the modified class. So your best bet is to go to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com to keep up. I'll do my best, but with 3 classes, 7 cars, it's going to be a little bit tricky. And by the end of this race, they're all going to be brown 170s. I'll promise you that. But with the timing, we can definitely help with that. We're trying to tech out the drone. We'll see if we can get it back in action. But something about radio frequency and something else, I don't know. But it sounds like the quarry should be set up better for tonight for his settings. So hopefully we can get that in action for you tonight. I do apologize, but again, we're doing our best. So it looks like they are stacked up one at a time. And in that, now my timing went to yesterday's race. Did I goof that up? I don't. So yeah, we'll have to wait for the timing to jump back on with us. There, it updated on me. So in that pole position in the stock classes, the 722 of Tinley Murray in her first ever race. And in the modified class, number 48 is Mills Gibson. In the limited class, it's the 107 of Hunter Biddle. The number 44 of Hayden Gibson in the limited class. In the stock class, it's the number 831 of Eli Robbins. And the number 307 in the stock class is Addison Gilbert. And in the limited, number 2, Kaylin Dowker. And there we go. We got the drone back up in action. So this will be a 15-minute race, and then the white flag comes out. And then we'll get to figure out who gets where. So I see Ella Ford. Oh, I think she's going to come over here. I was trying to convince her. Again, you do not have to, but I see your old car out there racing. So hop on headset. This is Ella Ford. Tinley Murray, or well, Chad Hunt just bought that car and put Tinley Murray in there. Are you sad to see your car out there racing without you?
Kind of.
Kind of. I get that. But yeah, it's and again, don't stay as long. Stay as long as you want, but if you want to leave anytime, you're more than welcome. But this is a 15-minute race, and you used to race this. What goes through your mind right now, getting ready and staging? Are you nervous? You telling your dad to be quiet and stop talking to you too much?
Kind of.
He doesn't yell though, does he? He's a sweetheart.
Sometimes.
Sometimes I get that. I think we all are sometimes. So a 15-minute race. It's a little bit muddy. We tried our best to keep them out of the mud, but I think that's going to be it's going to play issues with the visors, your hands on the steering wheel, and everything else, right?
Yeah, last year was really dusty.
Yeah. So dust, mud. Which one would you rather have? I'd rather have the middle. We never get that.
I'd rather have mud. Probably.
Mud, all right. And it looks like we are live racing. So it's Tinley Murray, Mills Gibson, Hunter Biddle, Hayden Gibson, Eli Robbins, Addison Gilbert, and Kalen Dowker. So this should be a good race. So out on course, it's Tinley Murray, the number 722 out of Plymouth, Indiana with Hunt's Motorsports. And that Polaris 170 with Branik Motorsports, Hunt's Motorsports, Dirty Life, and Mickey Thompson. Then it's the 48 of Mills Gibson out of Villa Ridge, Missouri with TTP Racing. And that Polaris was Z-Max, Sun F tires, DWT, and King. And then it's the 107 of Hunter Biddle out of Longmont, Colorado with Hunter Racing. And that Polaris single-seat 170 with Elite Power Sports of Colorado with Warren Racing. And then it's the number 44 of Hayden Gibson out of Villa Ridge, Missouri with TTP Racing. And that Polaris was Z-Max, DWT, King, and Sun F. And then it's the number 831 of Eli Robbins out of Decatur, Alabama with Full Throttle Power Sports. And that Polaris with all things UTV, Apex powder coating, Vision wheels, Super ATV, and MRT. And then the number 307 of Addison Gilbert out of Fenton, Michigan with Gilbert Brothers Motorsports. And that Polaris 200 with Big B and Mom and Dad. And then it's the number 2 of Kalen Dowker, number 2 out of Elk Rapids, Michigan with North Shore Raceworks with Polaris and Mom and Dad. Read through there. I think I covered the list, and we are out there live racing. And still out front is Tinley Murray. Looks like her first lap was 50 seconds flat, so about 4 seconds slower than her qualifying run. So we'll see if they can pick up the paces, but they're all within about 15 seconds of each other. Starting to spread out just a little bit. We got a pretty good battle out on course with these young guys and gals. And again, are you jealous you're not out there?
Yeah.
Did you age out or not yet? You're right on the bubble. I think it's at 11 you age out, right? Does that sound right? 12.
Well, I'm 12 right now.
Well, all right. Well, here we go. It looks like Tinley Murray in your car went a little wide and got up on the edge just a little bit, but kept out in front. So it's still Tinley Murray and then Gibson. And then I think that's Hunter Biddle. I see a little bit of green. These cars are going to get harder and harder to tell who's who. So I was incorrect because now I see Hunter Biddle back there battling it out with Addison Gilbert. So it looks like Eli Robbins just moves into the lead. And then it's Addison Gilbert. What happened to Tinley Murray? Okay, my timing's a little good. Okay, yep. Tinley Murray is still out front. So timing is off just a little bit. That we'll get that squared away. We do have transponders on the car, and then we have a camera at the start-finish if we have to do manual timing as well to get it all sorted out. But Tinley Murray out front pushing hard. Then it's Gibson. Okay, just like that, timing fixed itself. So Hayden Gibson in that second position. First in class. Again, go to ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com to see what class they're in, what place they're in, because it's a little hard to tell out there, especially when you're driving. You don't know who's in what class. You're just going, right?
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun watching you. You and your sister have raced. Your dad has raced with us for quite some time, and good to see you guys out here at least enjoying it. A little less stressful, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really stressful trying to get everything ready and being rushed to get out there and stuff.
And then, you can't sleep in. You got to get up early, make sure things are in order. And then you get to watch some good racing tonight, don't you?
Yep.
So Tinley Murray still out front with Hayden Gibson close behind. And then it's Eli Robbins, Addison Gilbert, Mills Gibson, Hunter Biddle, and Kalen Dowker. So a stock car of Tinley Murray is leading this race. That's pretty impressive. So they are out on lap number 6. I wish I would have started a timer. Okay, they've been racing for 4 minutes out there. So we're about at the 1/3 mark of this race before the white flag comes out. So what have you been doing this summer, Ella? Anything fun? Been going to the lake a bunch, I think?
Yeah, we've been to the lake a bunch.
That's awesome. And now you're out here at Badlands Off-Road Park, and this is probably, what, 3-ish hours for you? Yeah, you were sleeping half the time, so hour and a half for you, but your dad drove for 3 hours. But we're out here for the 2025 Branik Motorsports Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park. Switch over. Still not much talk in the chat of the YouTube, but if you put some in there, I try to scroll back and forth. We have our Believe Cam drone up in the air, catching some of the action. We got a couple cameras on course, and then one right here in the Big B studio. So I see Eli Robbins still moving good. Hayden and Mills Gibson. There's Caden Dowker. Addison Gilbert and Hunter Biddle are battling it out pretty good. One of the Gibson cars, I believe. Oh, and somebody's broke down. Oh, that is Tinley Murray. So somebody sold a race car that wasn't quite all the way prepped. And that was just a Pokemon buddy, Jody. But these little 170s, there isn't a whole lot of suspension to them. So they are chain-driven, solid rear axle, not much suspension up front. So they take a beating. You guys and gals put them through their paces. And I think you've done quite a few hot laps at home in it too, haven't you?
Last year I broke down too.
Oh, here, didn't you? Yep. So tough break for Tinley Murray. She was leading this race, her first race ever, until she wasn't. So then it's Addison Gilbert, one of the Mills, and then it was Hunter Biddle, it looked like. I see Kalen Dowker still pushing through. Eli Robbins, another one of the Gibson cars. Hayden and Mills Gibson. And it looks like Addison Gilbert has the cleanest car out there, so she's picking her lines, just trying to stay out of the mud. Looks like the fastest lap of the day thus far is by Mills Gibson. Nope. All the way at the bottom, Tinley Murray had a 43, but obviously she's a couple laps down now. We are on lap number 10 at the halfway mark right now. So this is a 15-minute lap. Then the white flag comes out, and then the checkers fly. So halfway through, it's Hayden Gibson, Eli Robbins, Addison Gilbert, Mills Gibson, Hunter Biddle, Kalen Dowker, and then still stopped on course is Tinley Murray. Well, we're at the halfway mark right here. Ella, thanks for coming over and chatting. Good seeing you, and we'll hang out this evening, all right?
Okay.
So, Ella Ford. And again, I keep seeing all these cars out there getting harder and harder to tell who's who. But Addison Gilbert maybe using some of that special Big B mud-off spray, because it's the cleanest car out there. Oh, but now I don't see Tinley Murray, so maybe they either got her going or pushed her off course. I'm kind of trying to keep an eye. Obviously, we're up top with the bird's eye view. It's a little tough. Our best camera is probably the top two cameras. And it looks like Hayden Gibson just set the new fastest time of a 43.2. Tinley Murray had the fastest time with a 43.7. So Hayden Gibson really starting to figure this track out. We are at 9.5 minutes of 15 before that white flag comes out on this just shy of a quarter-mile little loop here in the arena, just below the main Attica Motorsports store. And it's still Hayden Gibson getting a pretty good lead over Eli Robbins now. But Eli running a very solid pace. And then that looks like it's Dowker. So Dowker may have got around. Oh, Dowker is a lap down. Okay, so it's still going to be Addison Gilbert. See, I got to keep myself honest on ultra4racing.livemotorsports.com. I'm catching myself trying to physically watch it. So it's a pretty good battle right now between Addison Gilbert and Hunter Biddle. They are nose to tail. Oh, Tinley Murray is back in action. All right. Not sure what happened to it, but they got her squared away. Electrical issue, huh? Well, mechanics are fired. Hey, what's the warranty on that car? Do you know? 30 seconds. All right. Well, that's up, I think. But they're all part of Team Indiana, and they're giving each other a hard time. But everybody's all smiles. They're out there having fun. And Tinley Murray is behind the wheel once again, a few laps down. But, hey, she's enjoying the Ultra 4 USA race here for the 2025 Branik Motorsports Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana. So all cars are back underway, and Hunter Biddle does get around Addison Gilbert, it looks like. So right now it's still Hayden Gibson out front, Eli Robbins, Hunter Biddle, Addison Gilbert, Mills Gibson, Kaylin Dowker, and then a few laps down is Tinley Murray. But she got back in action. Well, I'm hearing the moms and dads over here hooting and hollering, but I missed it. And that track is getting really slickery because they've kind of spread all that mud out. So Tinley Murray, both of the Gibsons, it looks like. We'll find out here in just a second. Yep, so Hayden Gibson is a lap above Mills Gibson, but they are nose to tail with Tinley Murray. It's fun to watch because you don't know who's winning this. I do, just because I got the timing pulled up. But Hayden Gibson in 1, Mills Gibson in 5, and Tinley Murray in 7th, but they're battling hard out there on course. And I'm looking for the fastest time, and it is still Hayden Gibson with that 43.2. Got about a 15-second lead over Eli Robbins. So far, so good for the Youth 170s. Again, we have 3 classes out there racing at the same time. This coverage of Ultra 4 USA for the Badlands Branik Brawl is presented by Branik Motorsports and is brought to you by our official sponsors: Monster Energy, Warren Racing, PCI Race Radios, Metal Cloak, and by NorCal Rock Racing. And we are still ripping out on course. About 2 more minutes before that white flag flies. And then it'll be one final lap, and we'll see if Hayden Gibson can pull it off in the limited class. See if Eli Robbins can pull it off in the stock class. And then Mills Gibson in the modified. There are 7 cars in 3 different classes. A lot of fun seeing the future of our sport out there having fun. Lots of smiles right now. I'm sure there's a few nervous moms and dads out in the crowd, but that's just part of it. Everybody has a pretty good pace going on right now. Eli Robbins, I see. One of the Gibson cars. Addison Gilbert. And we got another pass. Looks like Hunter Biddle gets around Caden Dowker. So Hunter Biddle took a pretty good tumble last night during his Youth 1K race. He is okay, but he was shook up pretty good, but he was still strong enough to hop on the live show with me last night. He had a few tears he was fighting back, but he kind of fought through it and had a good little chat, and he was he was still having fun, but that's part of it. You live and learn. He's a 170 racer racing with the big dogs out there. It was really cool to see. So there's Addison Gilbert, and it looks like Tinley Murray have a pretty good little battle going on. Looks like we are about 10 seconds away from that white flag to fly. White flag for the 44 of Hayden Gibson. If we can see which one that is. There it is. The white flag is out. 1 lap to go. Can Hayden Gibson hold off and win this Youth 70 race? So right now it's Hayden Gibson, Hunter Biddle, Eli Robbins, Addison Gilbert, Mills Gibson, Kaylin Dowker, and Tinley Murray. What a great run it has been for the Youth 170s. They've had a lot of fun. They started with 2 parade laps, had 15 minutes of practice, a 2-lap qualifier, and now a 15-minute race. All right, now I think the checkered flag will come out right here, and it is out and going, and it is Hayden Gibson taking the overall win. Number 44 out of Villa Ridge, Missouri with TTP Racing, and that Polaris with ZMAX, DWT, King, and Sun F. And number 2 goes to Hunter Biddle, number 107 out of Longmont, Colorado with Hunter Racing, and that Polaris single-seat 170, Elite Power Sports of Colorado, and Warren Racing. And then in the stock class, taking the win, 3rd overall, first in class, number 831 of Eli Robbins out of Decatur, Alabama with Full Throttle Power Sports. And that Polaris with all things UTV, Apex powder coating, Vision Wheel, Super ATV, and MRT. And it is second in class, 4th overall is Addison Gilbert, number 307 out of Fenton, Michigan with Gilbert Brothers Motorsports. And that Polaris 2 Hundo with Big B and Mom and Dad. And then in 5th overall, first in the modified class, number 48 of Mills Gibson out of Villa Ridge, Missouri with TTP Racing. And that Polaris with ZMAX, Sun F Tires, DWT, and King. 3rd in class, 6 overall, number 2 of Kaylin Dowker out of Elk Rapids, Michigan with North Shore Raceworks. And that Polaris with Mom and Dad. And last and certainly not least, 3rd in class, 7th overall is number 722 of Tinley Murray out of Plymouth, Indiana with Hunts Motorsports. And that Polaris 170, Branik, Hunts Motorsports, Dirty Life, and Mickey Thompson Tires. So, again, everything's unofficial, but this is short course, so I'm pretty sure I didn't see any shenanigans out there. We will do awards for 170s and last night's races today at 1 p.m. right here in front of the Badlands billboard. So 1 p.m. awards for 170 and last night's races. Help spread the word for that. It's been a lot of fun. The Youth 170s just showed up and showed out. The awards will not be live. We will tape them and have a little highlight later on. But we will be live tonight at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Pro Mod, rolling right into the 44 and the 48. So it's been another great morning of racing. We're going to take a little break, do some awards, and get back to some racing tonight. So thank you for tuning in to the 2025 Branik Brawl here at the Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana. From the entire broadcast crew here at Ultra 4 USA, I am Miles Hasquist, and we will see you tonight, 5:30 for the Pro Modified, then the 4800 and 4400 race. It's going to be a good one. We'll see you later.